Welcome guys, and I can't believe it's already part 18 of this Volvo Amazon build. Thank you for tuning in. So in part 17 of this video you have seen me welding the floorboards of this car. They look pretty awesome and I still need to finish them. So that's what I'm gonna do first today. So for the first thing today, we still have this beam, and this beam needs to go underneath the car. So we need to drill out some holes over there where we can spot weld this edge onto and that edge. We also need to drill some holes into there and on the bottom so we can weld those against the car very nice and tight. And then after that, this part should be completely done. So, like I said, I need to sand much, I need to sand again all these parts, I need to clean out the frame rail, I need to make a bracket where the car stands up on the front so we can paint the lower side of the frame too without painting the subframe, and then we also need to clean out the complete inside of the engine bay. But first of all, we are gonna do this, so let's roll the time lapse. As you can see, it's a bit scratchy, but over here we have a nice row of welds, over here we have a nice row of welds, and it's all nice and flat. And when we get underneath the car, we have the very nice new beam in there. And if you look on the other side, there is no drainage hole in here anywhere. So the only hole where water can drain out is actually over there in the little corner, and you can see it on this side. It's all clogged up, so this is a huge problem. So I also found out that behind this panel is actually your lower sill, and there was a hole behind there. So I took my grinder, I made the hole open, didn't weld it, I opened it. So if there's any water in the front of this door sill, it can run down into this beam. This beam has been painted on the inside, all nice and black paint. I will put some the material which is some kind of grease, and I have made a nice hole which is actually low on the front and high on the back, and this should create a little bit of a swirl which will suck out all the water, but it won't let any water in there, because water can't splash in there on that way, but it can only splash in on that way. But we're not driving in reverse all the time. And this idea I actually took from this original watering channel over there, which is also low on the front, and it starts to run down, so it starts to run down, and there's actually a hole which runs in this angle in the car. So that should help with some of the water problems that Amazon can have. There was also a comment from a gentleman who told us all that these Amazons have a big trouble with some corrosion on the front frame rails. And to make visible for you guys what he's talking about, in my opinion, and what I think he's talking about, is this. Over here we have the engine bay of the car. We have here the frame, it goes up, goes down. Here's your subframe, and then you have these nice spots, these nice flat spots. So here is actually an area where dirt and debris can collect, or apparently some gloves, and you can see some garbage over there, which is all left from welding. But yeah, those are some spots where the floor will rot, and also these frames will rot. As you can see, mine are perfectly fine. I have no rust in there. So what I will do, I will finish up welding that piece, and when that is finished up, we can start doing that spot on the top. After that, we can hopefully weld the very last piece on the bottom over there. And when that is done, this car has been fully, but I mean literally fully welded. That is the last thing I need to weld. I don't think there are any other spots on the car that need welding. So then it has been almost, well, it has been around 11 months of welding every single weekend for 2 days a week, maybe 3 days a week sometimes. But we are almost there. Yeah, let's continue with working on the Amazon, because you and I both want this car finished. I know it. So guys, it's a brand new day. I have just removed all this insulation material. It's just a terrible mess to get this thing out, because yeah, it's sticky, it's very rubbery, and you need to heat it up before you can scratch it away. So yeah, you can see it. It's not a very nice thing to get removed from any kind of car. And I still need to do the other side. But over here we have still a hole. And this panel looks amazing. So I know on camera it looks a bit wobbly and bubbly, but that's not the case at all. It's all really flat. It's just sanding marks. And you will see how nice this will look when it's actually painted. If you look at that, that's still a hole. So over here we have the front of the car, all the welded pieces. I'll just grind it out. The brand new beam is in there, as you can see. Looks amazing. But for now we need to focus on this piece. So I need to drill out these spot welds over there, so we can get this piece loose from that piece over there. And then when these two are disconnected, we can then drill out the spot weld over there. I think there's another one over there, and the rest, oh well, over there is another one, and over here is another one. So we need to drill out all those spot welds until I think about here, so we can fold this flap a bit upwards to get this panel removed as good as we can, just like we did on that side of the car. So guys, this piece of the car is also done. That corner is repaired, looks pretty decent. I think it will look great when some primer is on there. And yeah, if you ask yourself why is there a little bit of a kink over there, well, that is also on that side, and this is original. So this line you see over there runs down over there, and that's actually how it should be. Over here we have this side which I have cleaned up. We have this side which I have finished welding, cleaned up that hole. Over here we have the finished piece. As you can see, smack this edge down, welded that back onto the new plate, and here you can see you weld a little bit of the weld of the new piece. So the only thing I need to do is smack this top piece back flat against the surface, because that's how it's done original. And you guys know me, I want this car to look as original as possible, but I'm very stoked on how this is turning out. And getting to the back, this is what I have done. I have cut out a huge chunk of the lower door sill over there, or not actually the door sill, but yeah, I don't know, the lower piece of the car. I have cut out that huge chunk over there, so what we need to do now is make a cardboard template. I have cleaned all the debris out, and there was a lot of debris in there. So I will paint the inside of that whole piece, so we can get rid of most of the rust in there. And when it's all painted, we can then make a cardboard template, make a nice metal piece. I think the plate over there should be long enough, maybe even this little piece. This should be perfect. Oh, look at that. That will save me some metal. So I can use that piece to make a nice new rust-free piece on that side. You can get inside of there over here, if you look down in there. So I can throw some primer down there from this side over here. Just use a very thin, nice brush. Get some primer down in there. I think maybe some tint out primer, so it will run down nice and deep inside of that piece to protect it for moisture. So guys, I have started doing the last little bit of work on the car, welding wise. So there is a new panel being made for this spot. As you can see, the panel has been made already actually, and I have spot welded it in on multiple spots. But the very difficult part of panels like these is you need to know if the panel itself is flat to get a good contour in the lower part of the new panel. Those spots are all very hard to recreate from a single piece, without the right tools to fold a piece of like that in the correct way. But to eventually get it right, it's all just a matter of testing and fitting and go on. And that's actually what I'm gonna do right now. So you can of course use multiple things, like a ruler. You can use a piece of just normal steel, a piece of wood, to see if the original panel of the car is flat, but it's always hard to see. So the best thing out of all of those is actually just getting a very thick metal ruler, which they also use to like see if a cylinder head is flat and go on. You can get those for around 80 bucks or something, but it's pretty amazing to have one of those things laying around, because they can make your work a whole lot easier. So I'm actually going inside of the car and putting my gasket scraper into the whole area where I'm welding to fold out the panels, which are dented in or outwards, to get a as flat as possible surface to weld. Of course, when welding these kind of spots, be very patient. Don't rush things, because rushing will put so much heat in the panels, which is just bad for the metal. Guys, it's a Thursday evening and I have just finished the last weld on the Amazon. I think this is literally the last weld we need to do. So over here we have my Lincoln Electric SP100i. This was the welder which I used to weld the full car for the last time. it's over. And with that, we have a brand spanking new welder. This thing, well, it's actually not brand new. It's slightly used. But as you can see, this thing is pretty much brand new. So yeah, that's a present to myself for welding all of that. But I think we are finally done. Didn't go exactly how I planned the last time, as I told you guys. But yeah, you can see that over here. The panel is pretty flat, but there are some bumps. There's one over there and one over here. But yeah, over here you can see the last weld. So all the dimples you see are actually the pieces I welded. So piece 1, piece 2, 3, 4, and on and on and on. And cooling them down along the way. But yeah, as you can see, I got a haircut in the meantime. But it's just amazing that we finally fixed this complete car. We have finally done every single bit of welding on the car. So yes guys, this will be the last welding video. It's been a long time. It's actually the 16th of November, actually right now, the day of filming. I started this project at the 1st of January. That's actually the first day that I can actually tell that, yeah, or say that I'm doing this full restoration. I've done some work before that, and I've done some engine work before that, but the real deal started the 1st of January. That's when I started filming this complete build. The first video dropped, I think, the 8th of February or something. But this is something. We have finally finished welding. So, to go over the car in a fast way, one piece over there, one piece over there, a pillar, that's already 4 pieces. We have one piece, which we did last time in wheel well, 5, 6. We have then the beam underneath 7, and we have this floor panel 8, 9. Then we have in the back, well, we have actually 10, I think, yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then the whole back piece is actually 7 panels, so that makes 20. Then we have the mud flap mount over there, 21. Then we have some other pieces over there. It's a crazy amount of work, and as you can see, the back of the Amazon is actually now a cardboard storage, sadly, because yeah, I was in a bit of a struggle with the room. But we have done so much, guys. So I'm not only proud of myself, but I'm also proud of you guys for tuning in every single time I upload a video. So I don't actually know what's the next step. I think the next step is just sanding everything, priming everything, and get on to that paint. So yeah, the next video will be dusty. I'm gonna finish up those welds, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell, because then you get a notification every time I upload a new video. And yeah, for today, for part 18, that was it. The welding is done, guys. That's yeah, that will bring me a nice day of sleep. So yeah, I'm happy. Let's go. See you guys. Bye.